Taylor Vernava here with Austin Theriault. You are about to make your Cup Series debut. What are the emotions you're feeling right now?
This is very special. I spent a lot of time up in the grandstands as a kid, watching the race, watching my favorite drivers, and to be down here, I don't think was ever a thought in my mind. And so the sort of work that had to go on behind the scenes to make this possible, it's been a long journey, a lot of ups and downs. When I first moved to North Carolina back in 2013 to pursue NASCAR as a career, I don't think I realized the uphill climb it was going to be. But I've learned a lot about life in the process. The rough times teach you a lot, teaches you about perseverance. We won championships at the national level before in ARCA, racing for Kenny Schrader, and he at one point here was racing in the Cup Series before he retired. So it's finally starting to set in. I've been working so hard behind the scenes to make this all happen, but finally when we pulled into the racetrack yesterday, I think it finally set in, and the emotions are taking over now. But at the end of the day, when I strap my helmet on and compete, I've got to take the emotions away and just sort of execute on my job.
You mentioned the ups and downs. What specific downs are you referring to that you think propelled you to where you are now?
Well, I've had some amazing opportunities to race for people like Brad Keselowski, who was a championship driver at this level in the Truck Series. I've raced in the Xfinity Series. In 2015, I was injured in a crash in Vegas and had some issues. Broke my back actually. So, when you're on the upswing in a sport, and all of a sudden you have an injury, I don't care what sport you're in, it's going to slow you down. And so I've had to overcome all that stuff. And then in 2017, I got an amazing opportunity to drive the ARCA championship for Kenny Schrader, and we won 7 out of 20 races, which is a really amazing feat. And so yeah, those are the ups, and then like I said, you have the downs, and I think everybody goes through that in their career. If you're lucky, you don't, but I think it makes you a better person, makes you a better athlete, and you understand how to just work through something, because it's not always going to go good, and you have to realize what it takes to turn it around and then make the best of it.
Well, I would imagine this weekend will be an up, and you mentioned that you grew up in the grandstands. You don't mean literally, or you don't mean generally, just any grandstands. Literally, you mean here. You're a Maine native, first Maine driver that'll be driving in the Cup Series in 15 years. Can you believe that you're making your Cup debut here in New Hampshire?
That's extra special. Like I said, literally, I could see the seats I was sitting in right from here, and my grandparents always took me to this track because we're 8 hours north, I think, in Fort Kent from here. So, spent time. This was like a week event because we would bring our motorhome and stay. And, as a fan, that's the sort of experience people like when they come to a NASCAR track. They like, it's like a tailgate event, except they do it for 4 days. And like I said, it's extra special because it's in New Hampshire, and Maine borders New Hampshire. But the fan base is really excited. And people stop me every once in a while and say, "Hey, we've been watching you from your career when you started, right from like the amateur levels, and we thought maybe you weren't going to get an opportunity or a break." And they said, "We're really, really excited. Now we have somebody to come cheer for." I'm not going to be running against Jimmy Johnson, because I'm just starting out, but I'm going to be in this race, and I think it gets people excited because, like you said, Ricky Craven was the last NASCAR driver to race at the Cup level, and that was 15 years ago. And hopefully now people can cheer for us.
Now that you're going to be behind the wheel, who are you most excited about having in attendance in the stands on Sunday?
Well, my immediate family, I would have to say, it probably means a lot to my grandfather. He's a tough old guy, so he's not going to share his emotions, but I know deep down inside that he gave me the racing bug, is what we call it. Like, you get bitten by the racing bug. Well, he was probably the person that did that because he brought me here and he bought me my first race car at 13 years old. So I would say it would be really special for him.
Austin, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.